Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Alex. This is my girlfriend, Emily. I'm from York, and she's from Newcastle.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm from Manchester, and this is my dad, Kevin. He's from Chorley.
Couple number three.
Hi, my name's Toby. This is my wife, Fiona, and we're both from Somerset.
And finally, couple number four.
I'm Natasha. This is my mum, Margaret, and we're from Brighton.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Very warm welcome to the show. Lovely to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. One part Gobby, two parts heartthrobby. It's my pointless friend. It's Richard.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome along. Hi.
Hi.
This is going to be a good one, I think.
I think so.
I'm almost certain it's going to be a good one. Kat and Kevin, welcome back head-to-head last time. Golden couple last time as well, so played very, very well. Emily and Alex, first round. But that's OK. Maybe you were keeping your powder dry. Maybe we're going to see plenty more of them this time.
Yeah,
Do you think? So. Or maybe not.
Maybe
what if they get knocked out in round one again?
Oh, that'd be awful.
I always find that awkward. But that's what they'll be thinking as well. A lot of pressure for them.
A lot of pressure. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I hope they don't... Imagine if they buckle under it.
Do they look like bucklers on podium one? Yeah. Oh, we're getting some yeses. I don't think you're bucklers. Listen, we'll find out really soon. No. But I don't think you are.
Oh, here's fun. Christina and Janie, not fun for them, they didn't win the jackpot last time. So we're adding another £1,000 to it. So today's jackpot starts off at £3,000. There we are, that's exciting. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. The rules haven't changed. It will always be the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that will be eliminated. So you know what you have to do. Nice low scores, please. Best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category this afternoon is tennis. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many men who have won 25 or more singles matches at Wimbledon as they could.
Yep, simply looking for the name of any man who's achieved that from the beginning of the Open era in 1968 up to and including the 2019 tournament.
Thank you very much indeed. So, men who have won 25 or more matches at Wimbledon. Emily, welcome to Pointless again.
Hello.
Remind us all about yourself, Emily.
I'm a student at Nottingham. I'm studying politics, philosophy and economics.
And your interests outside of politics, philosophy and economics are?
Well, I do a lot of debating. That's how I met my wonderful boyfriend, Alex. And I like making roasts on a Sunday with my housemates.
Very nice indeed. Now, Emily, what are you going to go for?
So I'm going to go for probably an obvious answer. Rafael Nadal.
Rafael Nadal, says Emily. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people went for Rafa Nadal. It's right. Score's 50. Can't argue with that. 50. Good start.
Yeah, 53 wins for Rafa Nadal. He's won Wimbledon twice, been in the final a bunch of times as well.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, now, Kat, welcome back.
Hi.
Kat, remind us all about yourself.
Yeah, when I'm not working, I like to do Amdram and go to Comic-Cons with my dad.
So the pair of you go, do you?
Yeah. We like... Dad does the best costume, so he's a very good Dr. Evil, as you can tell from his head.
I mean, when you turn up at a Comic-Con, you're obviously hoping no one else is in your costume. I mean, you kind of hope that you're
sometimes it's quite nice. You like gang up and have your own little group. I do try to go a bit obscure, so obviously.
OK, all right. Now, Kat, who are you going to go for?
Like Emily, I know a few big names, so I'm trying to think of who would be the lowest out of them. I'm going to go for Novak Djokovic.
Novak Djokovic. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Novak Djokovic. He's right. Down to 44.
Yeah, 72 wins for Novak Djokovic, won the title 5 times as well. These tennis rounds always go the same way. It's always Nadal, Djokovic. We know the next answer.
We're not yet shining the torch into the darker recesses, are we?
Not so much.
But
it's a scary one. It is a scary one.
It is a scary one. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, Toby, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here from Somerset.
Indeed.
Tell us all about yourself, Toby.
I'm a collection technician.
Yes. What's that involve?
I do drug and alcohol testing using a certain bodily fluid.
It's not spit.
Nope.
I presume you have to make sure that they are supplying it from their own store.
Absolutely. There's no trickery involved.
No.
Wow.
No.
There's the famous story, isn't there, of the American athlete, and he gave a urine test, and that's back in the day where they would try to do all sorts of things to cheat. And it came back, and the guy said, look, the good news is, you haven't been taking performance-enhancing drugs. The bad news is you're pregnant.
Toby, so look at any male tennis player that's won 25 or more matches at Wimbledon.
Tennis isn't my strong point, and a couple of obvious names came to mind, but I'm going further back into the dark recesses. Jimmy Connors.
Jimmy Connors, says Toby. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Jimmy Connors. Is it right? It is right. Well, 50 is the high score, 44 is the low, and you passed both of those. There we are, 23. Breaking new ground, Toby. 23 with Jimmy Connors.
Well played, Toby. That's the way to do it. Yeah, 84 wins in all for Jimmy Connors.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Natasha, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I live in Brighton, and along with a friend, I run a small charity.
So what's the charity?
It's to help adults have a brother or sister with mental illness. So we get people together once a month, and we also have advice and information online for anyone that wants any support.
Very, very useful indeed. What are your interests, Natasha?
Well, I have 2 children, and I help my mum with her allotment, and just...
Does she pay you in runner beans?
She does, actually. I get a veg box every now and then.
Very nice indeed. OK, Natasha, who are you going to go for?
Showing my age, I was a bit in love with him, so Bjorn Borg.
Bjorn Borg, says Natasha. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Bjorn Borg. He's right. 50, still the high score. 23 the low. 39 for Bjorn Borg. There we are.
Well played, Natasha. Yeah, he won 5 times in a row, won that title, Bjorn Borg. First person to do that in the Open era.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are halfway through our first round. Let's have a look at those scores. 23, well done, Toby. Best score of the pass is yours. Up to 39, where we find Natasha and Margaret. Then 44 is where we find Kat and Kevin. Then up to 50, Emily and Alex. I hope you've got a nice low-scoring answer. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Margaret, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I retired from my full-time job quite a few years ago, but since then I've been working for an exam board, teaching English as a foreign language, but examining for them.
Do you start with people who speak no English at all, or...?
They're oral exams, and they're around the world, so it can be, yes, from very, very beginners, really.
OK. Margaret, there you are on 39. If you can score 10, you're through to the next round.
Yeah, it's a bit risky. Yannick Noah.
Yannick Noah, says Margaret. Ooh, it gets an appreciative murmur from the crowd here.
I don't know.
Yannick Noah, let's find out. There's your red line, Margaret. Yannick Noah, will you get below that red line? Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry, Margaret. We should be rewarding that kind of attitude. That's exactly the kind of tactics we like. But I'm afraid it's an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points. Takes your total to 139.
Yeah, it's a very good wrong answer, I have to say. But, you know, it was at French Open was really his speciality. Yannick Noah never performed particularly brilliantly at Wimbledon, but... there it is.
You go.
Yeah,
there you go. And now, Fiona, welcome.
Hello.
Tell us all about yourself, Fiona.
Well, I'm a housewife from Somerset, and I also keep chickens. I like reading and cooking occasionally.
How many chickens have you got?
I've got 3. They're my girls, as I call them.
Wonderful. Now, Fiona, what are you going to go for?
Well, I'm going like my husband, Toby. I'm going back in time a bit, it's more into my day, and I'm going for John McEnroe.
John McEnroe. Well, the good news is, doesn't matter what you score here, you're still through to the next round. But let's see how far down the column we get with John McEnroe. No red line for you for that reason. John McEnroe is right. 47. Not bad. Still ranking pretty high on the pointless scores. Anyway, 70 is your total.
Well played, Fiona. Safe and sound, yeah. 59 wins for John McEnroe. Now he's a very, very good commentator.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Richard. Kevin, welcome back.
Hello.
Now, I know you, Dr. Evil, of course. I can't unsee that. Remind us all about yourself, Kevin.
I work for the NHS. I work with people with mental health issues and help them recover and get ready for moving back into the community.
Very good indeed. And your interests aside from Comic-Con?
Well, I've got quite a few interests. I like family history research. I also do ghost hunting.
Do you?
But my real love with ghost hunting is the equipment.
What equipment?
Oh,
do you have lots of tubes and...
The technology around ghost hunting has mushroomed.
Is this free, this technology, or is someone charging for it, just out of interest? Because that's a business we need to get into, isn't it?
You do have to pay for it. I bought this piece of equipment from the United States.
Yes.
It looks like a little plastic spaceship, but when it detects something, it lights up like a Christmas tree. But I don't know how it works.
But does it detect the sorts of people who might buy it?
I get a good response from it.
And from how far away do they see that person coming, I wonder? So it's male tennis players who've won 25 or more matches at Wimbledon. If you score 94 or less, you're through.
I'm going to take a bit of a gamble and go back in the distance past and say... Fred Perry?
Fred Perry, says Kevin. OK, here is your red line. Let's see if Fred Perry is right. Let's see if you can get below that red line with it. Oh. I'm afraid that scores you 100 points. And that takes your total up to 144.
I'm so sorry, Kevin. He was a long time before the Open era, I'm afraid, Fred Perry.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Alex, welcome back to Pointless. Remind us all about yourself.
I'm a student. I've just finished my undergrad degree in law, but I'm doing a postgrad. I'm doing a master's degree.
At York?
At the University of Nottingham.
You're from York?
I'm from York, that's right.
From York, studying in Nottingham. And your interests when not studying in law?
Well, I do quite a bit. I do a bit of amateur dramatics as well. I do a bit of drawing, but I also do watchmaking in my spare time.
How did you get into that?
From a very early age, actually. I was about 7 or 8, and I had a watch that I was absolutely transfixed by, and just always wanted to learn how it worked.
That's amazing. OK, Alex, now listen, the door has been open for you here. 93 or less gets you into the next round.
So, also, never really watched a tennis match in my life, but I'm hoping that I can go for a really obvious answer and still see me through. So, I'm going to go with Tim Henman.
You're going to go with Tim Henman? OK. Tim Henman, there's your red line. Will you get through with Tim Henman? Let's find out. Yes, you will. Very well done indeed. Look at that. Takes your total up to 75. 25 being your score.
Well played, Alex. Didn't buckle at all. That's exactly what you needed to do. Got through to the semi-finals 4 times, Tim Henman. Never got through to the final Wimbledon, but 43 wins in all. Now, I'm going to go through some of the low scorers first before we do the pointless answers. Plenty of them out there. 10 points for Ivanisevic and Edberg, 8 for Ash and Hewitt, 7 for Ilya Nastase. You got 4 for Michael Stitch, 3 for Andy Roddick and Vitas Gerolaitis, 2 for Marin Cilic and Roscoe Tanner. 1 point for John Newcombe, Kevin Curran, Mark Philippoussis, Mats Verlander, Richard Gasquet, Richard Krajcik and Tom Ocker. And here are the pointless answers. You could have had David Ferrer, Fernando Verdasco, 2 Spaniards there, Henri Leconte, the Frenchman. You could have had another Frenchman there, Joe Wilfried Songa, Ken Rosewall, who won lots before the Open era, but also won at least 25 after, Milos Raonic, the Canadian. You could have had Pat Rafter, Sebastian Grosjean, Thomas Burdick. You could have had Alexandra Meyer, Feliciano Lopez, Jonas Bjorkman, Mikhail Yuzhny, Stan Smith, who again won before and after, Tim Mayotte, Todd Martin, Tony Roach and Wayne Ferreira. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And so we find ourselves at the end of the first round, which means we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Oh, Kevin and Kat, I'm so sorry. Far too soon to be sending you home, but it's been lovely having you here. Thank you so much for playing, Kevin and Kat. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. There we are, ruthlessly cut down to 3 pairs. But Toby, well done. Lowest individual score of that round. Toby and Fiona, lowest combined scorers, in fact. But well done, everyone. Nice to have you here. Our category for round 2 today is history. Can you all therefore decide who's going to go first, who's going to go second, and whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and our history question concerns historical events that happened in November. Richard.
Simply 6 clues on each board now to historical events that happened in November. We'll also give you the year they happened, but can you tell us what they are, please? 12 in all to have a go at home. I'm assuming it won't include my birthday, but that is in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, very important.
OK, good. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, so we are looking for these events. They all took place in November. Let's reveal our first board of November things. This Scientists on the Origin of Species was first published 24th of November, 1859. This British Prime Minister announced her resignation 22nd of November, 1990. Women in this country became the first to vote in a national election 28th of November, 1893. The flying boat the Spruce Goose, piloted by this millionaire, made its first and only flight 2nd of November, 1947. This participant in the gunpowder plot was discovered in the cellars beneath the Houses of Parliament, 4th to 5th of November, 1605. And this waterway, built by Ferdinand de Lesseps, was opened 17th of November, 1869. I'm going to read those all again. This Scientists on the Origin of Species was first published. This British Prime Minister announced her resignation. Women in this country became the first to vote in a national election. The flying boat, the Spruce Goose, piloted by this millionaire, made its first and only flight. This participant in the gunpowder plot was discovered in the cellars beneath the Houses of Parliament, and this waterway, built by Ferdinand de Lesseps, was opened. Emily. November events.
Yes.
From history.
I think I might just take a risk because our aim was to go out to get to this round. I think that women first got the vote in New Zealand.
New Zealand, says Emily. OK, I'm trying to read from various people's faces to see what they think of that. They're giving nothing away. Let's find out. New Zealand, is it right? How many of our 100 people said New Zealand? It is New Zealand, Emily. Very well done indeed. That goes down to 13. But a great start to the round. Very well done indeed, Emily.
Very well played, Emily. Good knowledge and well done going for the risk as well. I like it when someone's degree, they actually answer a question that has some relevance to it. Yeah, Kate Shepherd was the sort of leader of that suffrage movement. She's on the New Zealand $10 note.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Toby, what are you going to go for?
Well, again, I know a number of them. I was going to take a punt on the flying boat. Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes for the Spruce Goose. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Howard Hughes. It is Howard Hughes. Well, 13 is the only score we have at the moment. Let's see how Howard Hughes does against that. 25. Not bad, Toby. Not bad at all.
Yeah, it was an 8-engined wooden flying boat which could carry 750 passengers. The Spruce Goose. It was quite a machine.
750?
Yeah. It's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot. Thank you. Margaret, you're the last person to have this board. Do you want to fill in all those blanks?
I only know the obvious ones, I'm afraid. Charles Darwin, Margaret Thatcher, and Guy Fawkes. So I'll go for Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin on the Origin of Species. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin is right. That goes down to 62.
You chose the right one of the three you knew there, Margaret. It's the best score of those three because the British Prime Minister, as you rightly say, was Margaret Thatcher. She would have scored you 93. And Guy Fawkes would have scored you 81. Now, this bottom one, it is one of the big canals. It was the Yannick Noah Canal. It was actually the Suez Canal. And Suez would have scored 27 points. So the best answer on the board there is New Zealand. Very well played on podium 1.
Thank you. Well, Yeah, well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. As Richard says, Emily, very well done indeed. 13, best score of the pass. Then up to 25, where we find Toby and Fiona. Then 62, Margaret and Natasha. Natasha, you get the new board. So let's hope there's something nice on there that you can redress things with. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more November events on the board, and here they are. In this ship, the Pilgrim Fathers made landfall at Cape Cod, Massachusetts, 11th of November, 1620. This British archaeologist discovered Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, 4th of November, 1922. This gas-powered device, developed by the Montgolfier brothers, made its first manned flight, 21st of November, 1783. This US president was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, 22nd of November, 1963. This pirate, born Edward Teach, was killed off the coast of North Carolina, 22nd of November, 1718, and an armistice declared an end to this conflict, 11th of November, 1918. I will read those again. In this ship, the Pilgrim Fathers made landfall at Cape Cod, Massachusetts. This British archaeologist discovered Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt. This gas-powered device, developed by the Montgolfier brothers, made its first manned flight. This US president was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. This pirate, born Edward Teach, was killed off the coast of North Carolina. And an armistice declared an end to this conflict. There we are, Natasha. A board of November events from history for you there. What's a nice obscure one for you?
The ones that I don't know are the obscure ones. I think I'm going to have to go for the most obvious one. I'll say JFK.
OK, you're going to go for John F. Kennedy, for the US president that was assassinated. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. You're the high scorers at the moment, so no red line. Is right. 88. Which takes your total up to an unbeatable 150.
Yeah, that's, yeah, yes.
There we go.
There it
That's
is.
it. That's
there
it.
it is. What else is there to say?
I know.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Now then, Fiona. 25, you're through. Doesn't matter what you score.
Ooh.
What are you going to go for?
I'm going for this British archaeologist, and it's Howard Carter.
Howard Carter, says Fiona. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. There's no red line for you. You're already through. Howard Carter is right. 19. Very well done indeed. 44 is your total.
Well played, Fiona. Yeah, he'd made his first trip out there 30 years previously, at the age of 17. So he'd been there 30 years before he found that tomb.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Alex, you also are through to the next round. You're going to be in the head-to-head. Whatever happens, why not talk us through that board?
Well, I wish I could. I think there are a couple on there now. I think the bottom one is fairly obvious in being World War I, but I'm going to take a punt. I'm not 100% sure if I've got the wording exactly right, but I think the top one, in this ship, the Pilgrims landed in Massachusetts, I think is the Mayflower.
The Mayflower, says Alex. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Mayflower. No red line for you, as I say. You're already through. The Mayflower is right. 47. Take your total up to a lovely round 60.
Well played, Alex. Let's fill in the rest of these. You're right, of course, about World War I at the bottom there. Only scored 70 points, amazingly. The gas-powered device is a hot air balloon. Would have scored 44. And the pirate?
See, this is it's a beard. It's the
Yes,
colour of
it
the...
is
It's either
one of the
black or
beards.
blue. It's black or blue.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
it is either black or blue beard.
Black beard.
Sure?
No.
Definitely going with black beard.
Emily says yes. I believe Emily.
Oh, what a cheat.
Oh,
What
no,
a
is it
cheat.
right?
Just because Emily is the cleverest. So it is right, it
It
is
is.
black
Oh,
beard,
phew,
yeah.
phew.
Would have scored 28 points. So the best answer on the board is Howard Carter, Fiona. Well played.
So at the end of our second round, the pair we are sending home with their high score of 150. I'm afraid Natasha and Margaret. We'll see you next time. But thank you so much for playing, Natasha and Margaret. But for the remaining two pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Toby and Fiona, Emily and Alex. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £3,000. But it's the head-to-head, so from here on in, you can chat before you give your answers, which is very nice. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Now, Emily and Alex, this is a better turnaround, I think. This is more like it. And Toby and Fiona, you played incredibly well. Lovely low scores from you. This, I think, will be hard fought, but best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns authors on screen. Richard.
I'm going to show you 5 pictures now of actors who are portraying authors on screen. We're going to show you the initials of those authors as well. Who are these authors being portrayed, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 authors. And here they come. A. VW. B. TC. C. OW. D. IM. And E. BP. There we are. 5 authors being portrayed on screen. Fiona and Toby, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first. OK, Toby and Fiona.
We're going D, Iris Murdoch.
D. Iris Murdoch. D. Iris Murdoch. Now, Emily and Alex, over to you. Do you want to fill in all those blanks?
Well, we know that A is Virginia Woolf, and C is Oscar Wilde, and E is Beatrix Potter. Not sure about Philip Seymour Hoffman in B. So I think we decided that we would go Beatrix Potter for E.
OK, E, Beatrix Potter. So we have Iris Murdoch and we have Beatrix Potter. Fiona and Toby said Iris Murdoch for D. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people got Iris Murdoch. Iris Murdoch is absolutely right. And that goes to 15. Very well done indeed. Emily and Alex, meanwhile, have gone for Beatrix Potter for E. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Beatrix Potter. Beatrix Potter is right. And that's dropped to 50. Very well done indeed, Fiona and Toby. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, Judi Dench against Renée Zellweger there. You were right about the other 2 that you knew. That's Nicole Kidman as Virginia Woolf. First one, she would have scored you 31. And Rupert Everett playing Oscar Wilde. He would have scored you 46. The Philip Seymour Hoffman one would have won you the point. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman playing...
Truman Capote.
Truman Capote, yeah. And that would have scored you 9 points. Won an Oscar for his portrayal of Truman Capote.
Thank you very much indeed. Richard, OK, here comes your second question. Emily and Alex, you have to win this one to stay in the game, so best of luck. Our second question today is all about ologies that aren't areas of study. Oh. Richard.
We're going to show you 5 clues now to words that end ology, but are not fields of study. We'll show you the first letter and the number of letters in each word too.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 ologies, and here they come. We have got a regretful acknowledgement of an offence or failure. A, 7. A published collection of poems or other pieces of writing. A, 9. The words and phrases used with a particular technical application or in a subject of study. T, 11. The set of beliefs characteristic of a social group or individual. I, 8. And the saying of the same thing twice over in different words. T, 9. I'll read those all again. A regretful acknowledgement of an offence or failure. A published collection of poems or other pieces of writing. The words and phrases used with a particular technical application or in a subject of study. The set of beliefs characteristic of a social group or individual. The saying of the same thing twice over in different words. There we are, 5 ologies. Emily and Alex, what are you going to go for?
We are going to go for the published collection of poems, and we believe that's anthology.
Anthology, say Emily and Alex. Now then, Toby and Fiona, do you fancy talking us through the rest of that board?
No.
I'd love to, but we're struggling. Go on, which one are you going for?
We're going for the set of beliefs characteristic of the social group, and I think that might be ideology.
Ideology. So we have anthology and ideology. Emily and Alex went for anthology. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. Anthology is right for the collection of poems. Down that goes 57. Ideology is what Toby and Fiona have gone for. A set of beliefs characteristic of a social group or individual. Let's see where that ends up. 57 is what it has to beat. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh! Wow, 58! I said it would be close. Well done, Emily and Alex. Back in the game. Just after 2 questions, it's 1-1.
That was a tense one, wasn't it? Let's fit in the rest of these. The top answer is the biggest scorer up there.
Apology.
Apology, which would have scored you 70. Bottom one is the
Tautology.
Tautology, yep. Would have scored 21. Now, the best answer is this one.
Terminology.
Terminology, yep. Would have scored 8 points. Very well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, here comes the decider. This is the 3rd question. Whoever wins this one goes through to the final to play for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our 3rd question today is all about biscuits.
Ooh, yummy.
I'm going to show you 5 clues now to words that are also the names of biscuits. We'll show you the first letter of the word as well. So the most obscure biscuit gets to play for the jackpot, which, if it was up to me, would always be how this show is played.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, let's reveal our 5 biscuits by other descriptions. Surname of the royal house that reigned in France from 1589 until the monarchy was overthrown. B. Adjective describing the system used in the body to break food down into forms that it can use. D. A native of the city known as Firenze in Italian, and a word often used to describe dishes containing spinach. F. A soldier in the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps during World War I. A. And the Italian general who captured Sicily and Naples with his volunteer force of red shirts. G. I'll read those one last time. Surname of the royal house that reigned in France from 1589 until the monarchy was overthrown. Adjective describing the system used in the body to break food down into forms that it can use. A native of the city known as Firenze in Italian, and a word often used to describe dishes containing spinach. A soldier in the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps during World War I. The Italian general who captured Sicily and Naples with his volunteer force of red shirts. There we are. Toby and Fiona will go first.
I'm going to take a punt and a risk. A native of the city known as Firenze in Italian. I think that biscuit's called a Florentina.
A Florentina, say Toby and Fiona. Now, Emily and Alex.
Can we just clarify, if we disagree with their answer, can we give that, or are we not allowed?
I think yes, you can, yeah.
Because we think it's Florentine.
You think it's Florentine? We have Florentina versus Florentine. OK, well, only one of you can be right. Toby and Fiona went for a Florentina. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it if it is. Or bad luck. Bad luck, Toby and Fiona, which means Emily and Alex. Well, you're not necessarily right. You could also be wrong. You never know. A Florentine is what you're going for, but let's see if you are right. That's all you have to be in this instance. And yes, you are. It's a Florentine. And it takes you down to 20, but the crucial thing is it was right, and it means after 3 questions, Emily and Alex, you are through to the final 2-1.
Absolutely brutal. That was, that's the very opposite of buckling right there. Yeah, let's take a look, shall we, at the rest of these. The surname of the royal house.
Bourbon.
Bourbon. Would have scored you 38 points. The adjective.
Digestive.
Digestive, of course it is. That would have scored you 66. We'll go down to the bottom. Next, the Italian general.
Garibaldi.
Garibaldi. Would have scored you 14. Now, this is the best answer on the board. It's the same name that you give to the soldiers.
Anzac.
Anzac, yeah. Australia, New Zealand, Army Corps, Anzac. 17 points. Rolled oats and coconut biscuit.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, so the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Toby and Fiona. Do you know what? It's not terrible news, this, actually, because it means we get to see you again next time. And thank you so much for playing meanwhile, Toby and Fiona. But for Emily and Alex, it is now time for our pointless fight. Well, congratulations, Emily and Alex. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £3,000. Now, last time, it was an early exit, round one. I'm beginning to suspect that was a hustle.
Yeah,
I think
it
you've
was.
hustled us. You were just waiting for the jackpot to go up.
Wanted a bit more screen time.
A little bit more screen time. What do you want to see come up in this last round? What's going to help you take that jackpot home?
Well, we'd be doing politics. Alex is very into politics, so politics would be something good.
Yeah, Emily is fantastic at sort of pop culture, songs, films, so if that comes up, we might just defer to her judgment.
OK, well, listen, 4 things come up on the board behind me. You've got to hope something up there appeals to you. Wouldn't it be nice if you could take that jackpot home? Today's selection reads like this. We have got Olympic gymnastics, royal births, rap music, and A Star is Born casts. What do you think?
Royal births would maybe be... You never know what could come up in that category. A Star is Born cast, I've only seen the latest Star is Born.
Can you remember anybody in it?
Only the lead characters, so that's
Okay.
really unhelpful.
Rap
You
music.
do like rap music,
I've
you
listened
do.
to it a little bit.
But I'd be completely deferring to you on that.
Yeah, so should we go with royal births? 'Cause I think
We'll
we-
have
we-
royal
we
births, we'll
both
see
have
what comes up. Give it a go.
Yeah.
OK, royal births.
OK, very best of luck. We're looking for any of the following 3 things, please. We're looking for the mother of any English, British or UK monarch from 1066, please. We're looking for the first names of any of the grandchildren of Queen Victoria. Those are the names by which they're most commonly known, though not nicknames. Or we're looking for the decades of birth of English, British or UK monarchs from 1154, please. So mothers of monarchs, grandchildren of Queen Victoria, and decades of birth of monarchs as well. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. You don't have to answer all 3 categories, as you know. Just focus on whichever ones you like the look of. Are you ready? OK, let's put
Yes.
60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
So, do I need to jump out of here?
Well, so I was thinking mothers of English UK monarchs. You could have someone like weird, like Mary Queen of Scots, because she was obviously mother of James the 1st/4th.
Okay.
So that's quite a good
Go
answer.
Mary Queen of Scots.
First names.
We could
Queen
guess.
Victoria, you've got like random names, so why don't you just say something like?
I mean, surely one of them would have been named after Albert.
Yeah, maybe Albert. Maybe say Elizabeth. Maybe for one of them. There were so many of them. She had
I
hundreds.
think no, Elizabeth is going to be too obvious.
Okay, maybe.
Henry, that might be. Decades. I mean, we could. I don't think decades are probably for us.
Birth of English monarchs.
If nothing sort of jumps out.
Yeah, I mean.
So do we go with your idea for the mothers of English?
Yeah,
Scots?
go Mary Queen of Scots.
And then guess Albert.
And I think we just go for
10
another
seconds
random
left.
queen, like someone like Jane Seymour or someone like that,
Yeah.
because she gave
Yeah.
birth to
James-
Elizabeth I.
I defer to you on that. I have no idea if that's all.
OK, that's your time up. Let's have your 3 answers. What are you going to give me?
So for mothers of English monarchs, we're going to say Mary Queen of Scots
Mary Queen of Scots.
and Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour.
And we're going to guess a name for a grandchild.
I'd say Albert because of who the grandfather was.
Yeah.
Albert.
Albert. OK, 3 good answers there. Which of those is your best shot at a pointless answer, do you think?
Yeah, I would say maybe Mary Queen of Scots.
Mary Queen of Scots we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless?
Albert because
Albert.
we guessed it.
And Jane Seymour goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Albert, Jane Seymour, Mary Queen of Scots. 3 answers up there on the board. Any one of those could turn out to be pointless and win you that jackpot of £3,000. What would you like to do with it if you won it? Emily?
Well, we're hoping to relocate to London after we both graduate. So I think maybe we'd need that because London is more expensive than the North.
Yes. Not going to argue with that. Alex?
Much the same, really. We are living together next year in university accommodation, but we'd like to move out into our own flat together, and it would be brilliant to put it towards that.
OK, well, very, very best of luck. Your first answer was Albert. In this case, it was a bit of a punt, but we were looking for the first names of any of the grandchildren of Queen Victoria. Let's see. Only one of these answers has to be pointless to win that jackpot of £3,000. Might Albert be the one? How many people said it? Albert's right. It just has to go all the way down to 0 now for you to win that jackpot of £3,000. Down we go with Albert. Into the 20s, into the teens. Oh, stopping at 16. OK, not a pointless answer. Let's not dwell on that. Let's turn straight to Jane Seymour. In this case, we are looking for any mother of any English or UK monarch. Jane Seymour, if she is pointless, wins you £3,000. How many of our 100 people said it? Again, it's right. Albert was right, but took us all the way down to 16. Jane Seymour is right, taking us down through the 20s. Passing 16, we're now into single figures. Oh, just into single figures with Jane Seymour. Well, you've ordered it perfectly so far. Let's see if we can continue with that trend. Mary, Queen of Scots, is your final answer. Again, we're looking for mothers of English or UK monarchs for £3,000. Is Mary, Queen of Scots a pointless answer? It's right. 3 right answers. Your first answer was Albert, took us down to 16. Your second answer was Jane Seymour, took us down to 9. Mary, Queen of Scots, now taking us down, passing 9, still in single figures, still going down, down, 2. Well, 3 very good answers there. 3 fabulous scores. Irritatingly, we only accept pointless answers in this last round, and I'm afraid you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot, but you do win today's pointless trophies, so very well done for that. Fantastic.
Yeah, terrific performance right from the start. You did so well today. Let's take a look, shall we, at the mothers of English or UK monarchs. Quite a few pointless answers here. You could have had Anne Hyde, who's Mary II and Queen Anne, Anne of Denmark, Charles I's mother, Catherine of Valois, Henry VI's mother, Elizabeth Woodville, that was Edward V. You could have had Augusta of Saxe-Gotha, you could have Blanche of Lancaster, you could have Eleanor of Castile, Eleanor of Provence as well, Isabella of Angoulême, you could have Isabella of France, Joan of Kent, Mary of Orange, Matilda of Flanders as well. All of those are pointless answers. Next category is those grandchildren's names. Leopold, Patricia, Sigismund, Sophie, there's also Christian, Friedrich, Irene and Valdemar as well. They were all pointless answers. And those decades of birth. 1360s, 1630s, 1660s, 1760s, 1130s, 1150s, 1200s, 1310s, 1380s, 1470s and 1680s. Those were all pointless answers. Very well done if you said one of them.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard, and thank you, Emily and Alex. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That'll therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £4,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.